G'day, I'm here with John today and we're going to play a mid-war game of Flames of War. So I'm going to go through my the mission and the deployment. So the mission is breakthrough, and these are the two objectives here. There we go. So I've selected this quarter over here and this quarter over here to deploy. And on board at the start of the game I have got my company HQ of 2 Lees, 2 M10s, and in ambush I have got 4 Shermans, M4A1s. Facing off against me is an Africa armoured car formation, just one, but it's a big one, fielding all of these armoured cars, and a Tiger, and some Martyrs, and some Schlepps, and coming on later will be a unit of Africa rifles and tank hunters. Okay, John. Well, good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right.
Over to John's first turn. We'll come back with post movement and shooting. So the horde advances, and the Tiger shoots, and has smoked my 2 IC. So yeah, that's not great for me. Nothing much else has happened apart from a massive advance, and yeah, we'll see what happens at the top of turn 1 after my turn. Okay, so end of my turn, I've managed to smoke 4 armoured cars, but yeah, and one of the Schlepps, the M10s blitzed up, shot and then shoot and scooted back into cover, and these guys all managed to execute their shoot and scoot orders as well, so not too bad, but still I had hoped to get shots on the Tiger, but didn't realise that this forest base is getting in the way and blocking line of sight, so I wasn't able to execute a Tiger kill. I'm sure John is pretty happy about that. John's quite happy.
Yes.
It went from being not very happy at all to rather happy. Okay, so basically the Tiger failed to hit anything over on this side. There wasn't much else that could shoot that had targets. Just a bit of movement happening. Then the Schlepps managed to range in on the M10s down here, scored a bailed out result on one of them. My M10s promptly failed their remount test, and then once again failed their company unit morale test and drove off the table. So yeah, there's 16 points that I'm going to sorely miss in this next turn. However, I did manage to get a 6 for my reserves, and so I'm bringing on my Lees. We'll see how they go. Okay, well that, as they say, was rather underwhelming. The Lees came in from reserves over in this corner and fired at the armoured cars, scoring 2 casualties. Fortunately they were the 2.8 centimetre guns, so that was pretty positive. Yeah, but other than that, oh yeah, the Shermans smoked the Tiger up on the hill. I had to do something because the commander and one of the other tanks from the Sherman platoon failed their cross test. So yeah, and my company CO's redeploying around the corner to try and deal with the armoured cars which are pushing this direction. So yeah, I'm playing catch up quite a bit in this game. Yeah, I'm causing casualties, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough. Okay, the Tiger has struck again, smoking 1 Lee, bailing another out, which has failed to remount. Yeah, but a bit of redeployment going on, not too much dashing forward as I expected from John this turn. We're hiding sort of in this gully from the shots here. Martyrs have snuck up to this ridge here. So yeah, I was expecting more bloodshed on this turn, but yep, John's obviously keeping his powder dry, and we'll see what happens in my turn. I've rolled my reserves, and I'm going to bring on my my M3s, so we'll see, yeah, what they can do for me. Ooh, not a bad turn for me this time round. My company commander managed to bail out one of the 232s.
231s.
231s.
Yep.
My Shermans didn't do much because I wanted to stay in command, and yeah, was a little bit worried. So they've just managed to pass their cross tests, snuck in behind the railway carriages for a bit of concealment, should the Tiger decide to give them some attention. Yeah, I had to leave the bailed out Lee behind. The Stuarts came in and nailed the platoon on the hill, and was finished off by the platoon commander of the M3 Lees. Yeah, and then we managed to bail out and kill another armoured car in the unit down by the palm trees there. But we're still having to worry about this Tiger on the hill. He's not smoked this turn. Yeah, a bit ominous. We shall see. I've probably opened myself up for a flank charge by the armoured cars, but yeah. And this turn, I think John automatically gets his...
Not yet.
No, not your reserves yet. Yet 2 dice this turn. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Do you want to roll that, John?
Yep. So no reserves.
No reserves. So I have a reprieve for another turn.
You do indeed.
Yes. Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, we've still got the martyrs up there. Yeah, okay. Okay, those cheeky schleppers that snuck up the previous turn over behind the Tiger, rolled a barrage, and what do you know, they destroyed one and bailed one out. Not impressed. Well, you know, relatively speaking. But as far as the rest of my army, I've got off pretty lightly. The Tiger up on the hill there rolled 2 2s to try and knock out the Lees, so I'm going to get an opportunity to remount one and hopefully do something useful with that Lee unit, and maybe if I can get the Stuarts moving as well, we'll have something interesting happening. Yeah, will automatically get my rifle platoon on, and they're going to come in over by between the railway track and the corner of the board there. Double timing, trying to get across the board. John's still a bit hesitant over this side. I'm not quite sure what his plan is there. I'm sort of yeah. There's a plan, I'm sure.
There certainly is a plan, and it was basically forcing you to where to put your reserves.
Fair enough. All right, well,
desperately waiting for mine.
Yeah. So this is where it gets interesting, because next turn John's guaranteed to get at least 1 unit on, and they're both units that can make life for my tanks pretty uncomfortable.
Especially if I put you in a pincer.
I just don't think that.
Or hammer and anvil.
Yes, it's going to
be the anvil and everything else being the hammer.
Yeah. So we'll see how my turn goes. I've got 1 turn to sort of, well, might be the make or break turn. Okay, massive redeploy from me. I've moved both the Lees and the Stuarts across. Managed to get the lone Lee that was bailed out back in. So he's rejoined the platoon. Stuarts have come across, but they had to leave one of their chaps behind. Oh well. The Shermans redeployed, and the company HQ stood still while the rifle platoon moved on from this corner here. Yeah, I managed to get a reasonably successful turn of shooting. I've knocked out 2 armoured cars from this unit here. Knocked out a heavy armoured car, so they're guaranteed testing for the rest of the game. Yeah, nothing much to say over at the far side, as I didn't shoot. I'm hoping to leave that Tiger behind. But the backside of these 2 Lees is hanging out in the wind, so I'm sure he's going to send some parting shots my way. Yeah, and I've still got to deal with these martyrs who've got...
Ooh, within range. Shivers in range.
Laser beams incoming. Right, okay, well, we'll see what John's turn brings. He's getting his guaranteed reserves in over here, so yeah. Did I do enough? We'll see. Ouch! Yeah, so that went quite well for John that turn. The martyrs moved up, smoked a Sherman and bailed another one out. Tiger fired across, destroyed another Sherman. Then the Schlepps ranged in, first attempt, got hits on everyone but one tank in this this group here, and yeah, blew up a Lee and bailed another one, bailed out one of the Stuarts. So yeah, pretty yeah, hurting there. And down here we've got the Africa Rifle coming in and contesting this objective, and yeah, don't know what I'm going to be able to do here. Still got a bailed out Stuart across the other side that might get back in and help me out, but yeah, the wall of armoured cars is happening, so we'll see what happens.
Will do indeed.
Oh well, yeah. Yeah, you know how there were some Shermans down here? Yeah, apparently dice don't like 4s when I roll them, or anything 4+ related. So yeah, 4 rolls because the company commander was there, and all of them 1s, 2s or 3s, and so the Shermans have disappeared. Over here is slightly more successful, managed to pluck off 2 of John's infantry stands. But he's getting his anti-tank guns on this turn, so it's going to be uncomfortable. Over here, the one of my Stuarts didn't make it across the wall, but across the hedge, sorry, but he managed to knock out John's company commander, so he deserves a medal. Infantry got into the building, didn't do too much, didn't decide to assault because 9 dice hitting on 3+ means I'm going to get pinned down. And my poor old Lees, they just sort of can't catch a break. They had heaps of dice thrown at the martyrs, and the martyrs said no. So yeah, and we've still got Mr. Tiger and the Schlepp sitting over there waiting to give everybody a hard time. Okay, good turn for John, I think, even though it was my turn. I was expecting to lose that turn. It didn't happen though. Incredibly lucky on my part, or maybe unlucky on John's part.
Unbelievable.
8 shots from martyrs, scoring just 2 hits on the Lees, and only managed to kill 1 because I rolled a 6 to save one of them, and yeah, well, saved it.
And I failed to bail it. Yeah,
failed to bail it out. Tiger shot and missed again. Schlepps didn't manage to even hit the lone remaining Stuart there.
A 2 and it got rolled a 1.
And the anti-tank gun failed its firepower versus my HQ tank here. I think if John had realised that I was that close to breaking, it would have been 2 guns into the lead.
Absolutely, yes.
And only 1 into the Stuarts, but yeah, as it was, 2 guns into the Stuart, 1 killed, 1 bailed. They're testing.
Yep.
And yeah, so basically it's still pretty dicey. I've got a turn to, I don't know do what, but anyway, let's go here. We'll do some dramatic morale results. So if actually, so we're going to see if the Stuart gets back in. Yes, he gets back in. Does the one over on the hill that's been bailed for the last 2 turns get back in? Yes, he gets back in. Do they run away? Of course they run away! Right, well that's them out of the fight. And does my company HQ get back in? He's got a 4 there, so he's alright. Okay, yeah, well... oh yes, unpinning my infantry. Will that happen? Yes! we're still in the fight. We could pull off a stunning victory. Well, maybe not. We'll see.
You've still got 9 infantry shots and then anti-tank gun shots with an 8, so good luck with that.
Yes, that's right. Okay, well, it's going to be an interesting turn, eh, John?
This will probably make or break turn, I suspect.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's all over. I had atrocious dice. I suppose it was roughly close to average. Couldn't get the hits needed to do any significant casualties on the infantry. That's what I really needed to eliminate. Had to press the assault because if I didn't push him back outside of 8 inches of the objective this turn, I was going to lose. However, charging my infantry in failed to do anything. It just resulted in a boatload of casualties. Charging my HQ in, again foolish, resulted in a boatload of burning tank. Yeah, and again those martyrs are just swanning about untouched, seemingly don't even care about the lees that are facing off against them. Well, they probably do care. They're just going to perforate them next turn. But there's not going to be a next turn. That's me broken. Good game. That's good game, John.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what I could have done to do more in this game. It's just one of those games that how do you deal with that many armoured cars, John? Or is that your cunning plan?
It's always a cunning plan. In fact, there's more armour cars to be added to the list.
Oh no! Yeah, you could have dropped the schleppers and got even more. Mind you, hey, those schleppers, they've taken out at least 2 of these Stuarts. This is my morale.
Yeah.
This is my pile of tanks that disappeared due to morale. So there is 38 points worth of tanks that disappeared from my army list due to morale. There is 1.5 for those. 3 points a unit.
Yes.
3 points. Yeah. So 1.5 points there, and I think we lost probably 2 points out of that unit to morale failures. So morale. Small units, expensive units, really suffer to morale. Ouch. Yeah. Anyway, good game, John. You played it well. I suspect you could have beaten me quicker, but you still beat me. That's all that matters, eh?
It's all about waiting for reserves to come on, and you have to time it so you do the pincer.
Yeah.
And this game, which is unusual for me, I actually put the guns and the infantry in reserve, only because then they can basically come on and try and hold the objective while then the rest of stuff then swarms. Hopefully the other anti-tank stuff actually killing stuff in the meantime. So it worked out alright. Probably could have got it a couple of turns quicker, but hey, it worked out in the end.
Yeah. And in my mind, I'm still not sure whether I made a bad decision not bringing my Stuarts in over here and trying to do nasty things to the martyrs. On the other hand, I may have just lost them sooner. But the martyrs, if I'd been able to tie up the martyrs, I think my Shermans would have been available to help defeat the reserves. But hindsight is always 20/20, and we'll see. Okay, good game, John. Thank you.
Cheers.